You've seen those YouTube shorts with some cool kid with LED lights going wild in the background showing how they built an entire app in 20 minutes without writing a single line of code, right? Just vibes and AI prompts. It looks amazing, right? But here's what those TikToks don't show you. The debugging nightmare that follows when that code hits production and how the hackers riddle their code to death. After 25 years building software, I'm here to tell you why vibe coding isn't real software development and why the difference matters more than ever. Let me show you why those who can actually debug code will always have jobs while the vibe coders are setting themselves up for disaster. And also why the seed levels who believe the vibe coding trend are going to be setting themselves up for failure as well. Let's dive in. Welcome to Startup Hack. I'm Spencer, and here at Startup Hack, we train software developers in our licensed coding boot camps and build custom software solutions for companies. With a decade of executive leadership as a fractional CTO and 25 years in software development, I've mastered transforming tech teams and product. All right, look, AI coding tools are incredible. They've changed the game for developers at all levels. But here's the dangerous idea spreading that you can just vibe code your way into production quality software, that understanding the code doesn't matter anymore. This mindset is creating a generation of developers who can generate code but can't fix it when it breaks and can't understand where the security vulnerabilities are. And trust me, it will break. Let's talk about the hard truth of vibe coding versus actual software development here. Now, again, if you have comments, I love to have a great, healthy discussion. So leave me a comment down below to let me know your thoughts on this, because I love to have a great discussion and I answer all of them myself. So the term vibe coding was coined earlier this year, to describe giving up control to AI and forgetting that the code even exists. Now, Karpathy described vibe coding as just see stuff, say stuff, run stuff, and copy and paste stuff, and it mostly works. Now, that mostly is what gets you in trouble, right? And that's the big emphasis, mostly. It's like I had a boss who used to call me up all the time and say, hey, can you just make this thing do that? And the just would be like months of work. So it starts as an experiment for a weekend project, has morphed into a movement with unqualified endorsements from tech influencers and startup founders. You don't get your medical advice from TikTok, do you? You probably shouldn't get your software development advice either. So while it's great for quick prototypes and learning, I've watched firsthand as companies try to build mission critical systems using vibe coding approach. The reality is that vibe coding is perfect for creating a house of card codes. Code that looks complete but collapses under real-world pressure. As one developer put it, it's not really coding. It's like telling a junior developer what you want and never reviewing their work. Now, if you think that sounds crazy for you developers out there, that's what this vibe coding trend is. Now, recent Microsoft research tested 9 different AI models on debugging tasks. Even the most advanced models failed over half the debugging challenges. Real-world code doesn't just need to be written. It needs to be maintained, fixed, optimized, and understood when things inevitably go wrong. So after 25 years building software, I can tell you that writing code is maybe 20% of the job as a software developer. The other 80% is figuring out why it's not working as expected. The vibe coding approach creates a dangerous dependency where developers can't fix what they can't understand. Now, AI is amazing at generating code, but terrible at debugging complex systems, because debugging requires deep contextual understanding and system thinking. While some AI tools claim to help with debugging, they often just generate more code to work around problems rather than solving the underlying issue. Now, companies rushing to embrace vibe coding are accumulating technical debt at an unprecedented rate, what I call AI-accelerated technical bankruptcy. The joking complaint that 2 engineers can now create the tech debt of 50 contains a painful grain of truth. Let me repeat that again. 2 engineers can now create the tech debt of 50 when you start using this vibe coding. Vibe coded projects typically lack error handling, proper testing, security considerations, and performance optimizations, all critical aspects of production software. When things go wrong in production, and they always do, the blame game begins because nobody actually understands how the system works end to end. Now, I've seen several startups fail because they built their entire product on vibe coding foundations that couldn't scale or be fixed when problems arose. So professional software development isn't just about making something work once. It's about building systems that can be understood, maintained, and evolved over time. Now, most valuable developers have always been the ones who can dive into complex systems and fix what's broken, a skill that vibe coding actually discourages. Debugging requires a foundation of knowledge about how systems work under the hood, not just the ability to describe what you want at a high level. So when a system fails at 3 a.m. and customers are losing money, you need developers who can solve problems, not just generate more crappy code. So I can tell you that developers who advance fastest are the ones who build debugging superpowers, not who rely entirely on code generation. Now, AI can help experienced developers debug faster by automating repetitive tasks, but it can't replace the fundamental understandings needed to solve complex problems. Now, if your company has systems that aren't connected, reach out to us, because here at Startup Hack, our specialty is helping you connect systems so your company can work like a well-oiled machine. So check out startuphack.com/Spencer and we can help you out, especially if you want to build some great AI agents by developers who know how to use them, right? And to help you maintain them. So now there's a false economy of vibe-only coding. Companies think that they're saving money by hiring vibe coders who can generate code quickly without deep technical skills. What they're actually doing is creating a ticking time bomb of maintenance costs and future rewrites. As the author of How To Geeks point out, while vibe coding seems to democratize development, it also presents some problems when people have no way of evaluating the quality of the code. So I've consulted for multiple companies who had to scrap entire systems that looked because they trusted AI to build all the code for them. Now, the same pattern repeats. Rapid initial development followed by mysterious bugs, followed by inability to fix them, followed by complete rewrite, or following a time in which hackers completely hack your system and bring it to its knees. True software development requires an investment in understanding. There's no shortcuts around building that foundation. Now, vibe coding is especially dangerous because it creates the illusion of quality through working demos that hide fundamental flaws. As one writer put it, vibe coding is, quote, not an excuse for low quality work, yet that's exactly how it's being used. Professional software has required beyond it seems to work things like security, performance, accessibility, and reliability that vibe coding often neglects. So I can immediately spot the difference between code that was generated versus code that was crafted with understanding. The most successful teams use AI as a tool to accelerate development while maintaining human oversight and understanding. You wouldn't put a junior developer onto a project, let them write the code, and then deploy to prod without checking it. But that's what this vibe coding generation is suggesting that we do. When companies prioritize speed over quality through excessive vibe coding, they're making a trade-off that almost always ends badly. So the biggest challenge in software development isn't writing code. It's at figuring out what code to write in the first place. My favorite commits are the really small, simple, concise ones. Vibe coding generates these massive solutions with tens of thousands of lines of code, and just for the purpose of thinking it can generate code. So it can't determine if those solutions actually solve the right problem. So after 25 years of building software, I've learned that requirement gathering and system design are just really where the expertise come in. AI can't interview users, understand business constraints, or make orchestral decisions that balance competing priorities. The best developers combine technical skills with business understanding to build systems that solve real problems, not just fulfilling immediate requests. The most dangerous aspect of vibe coding is that it creates the illusion of progress while potentially building the wrong thing. So the true potential of AI in software development is augmenting skilled developers, not replacing the need for understanding. AI tools excel at generating boilerplate, suggesting approaches, and handling competitive coding tasks to free up developers for high-value work. Now, I use AI daily to accelerate my workflow, but I never accept output I don't understand. The best use of AI involves partnership where humans provide the understanding and AI provides speed and suggestions. As Simon Willinson put it, if you use AI to help write code but still review, test, and understand it at all, you're not vibe coding. You're just using a powerful new tool wisely. And that I totally agree with. Now, if your company has systems that aren't connected and you want some help, especially if you're looking to implement some AI agents to help your systems work well with some thoughtful engineers who know how to implement these, check out startuphack.com/Spencer because we'd love to help you. LLMs are powerful tools that we can deploy into our systems. Now, a recent study by Microsoft found that even the most advanced AI models like Claude 3.7 Sonnet and OpenAI's latest struggle with debugging tasks that experienced developers can easily handle. Now, according to TechCrunch, these AI models, quote, rarely compete with more than half the debugging tasks successfully, even when given access to specialized debugging tools. The ability to debug complex systems separates professional developers from people who can generate code but can't maintain it. So I really like this comic that I saw the other day, and I want to share this with you here because I thought this was really funny. So person on the left says, someday we won't even need coders anymore. We'll be able to just write the specifications and the program will write itself. And the developer says, oh, wow, you're right. We'll be able to write a comprehensive and precise spec, and bam, we won't even need developers anymore. And he says, exactly. And I'm just guessing the product. I'm going to pretend this is a product person, right? And do you know the industry term for a project specification that's comprehensive and precise enough to generate a program? No, it's called code. It's called code. And I really like that. And the best part about this is from an article from March, but I've seen this comic. Oh, sorry. This was a comic strip from 2016, right? So this is not a new conversation. This comic strip is actually 10 years old. And that's what makes me just really chuckle at this point, is because this is not new. For a long time, low code, no code, like tons of tools have come along and said, JetBrains has been advertising development tools for 20 years that was going to put developers out of their business, right? And I know everybody's telling me, oh, but LLMs are different. No, they're not. One of the biggest dangers of vibe coding is that it creates a false sense of progress for beginners who generate working code without understanding it. So as How to Geek article says, can you vibe code anything without knowing how to code? Not quite. There's still a fundamental knowledge required. In a lot of cases, knowledge is how do you actually get that to even production? How do you get that to integrate into other systems? What are all the libraries you're using up to date and most secure, right? For true career longevity, learn the fundamentals first, then use AI to accelerate your capabilities, not the other way around. Now, companies are discovering that there's a huge difference between developers who can generate code with AI and those who can architect systems, debug problems, and understand the full stack. As vibe coding becomes more accessible, the premium on deep technical understanding and problem-solving skills is actually increasing, not decreasing. I keep hearing people say, oh, developers are going to go away. Look, I've heard this even just since OpenAI released ChatGPT. And yet the demand is higher. I've never seen higher demand for developers who truly understand the principles they're building. While AI can generate an API endpoint, it takes real developers to understand how that endpoint fits into a complex ecosystem of services. AI cannot understand a system of 20 different microservices and how they work together. Now, if your company has systems that aren't connected, reach out to us, because here at Startup Hack, our specialty is connecting systems and helping you build AI agents to be able to automate your workflows with great engineering. So check out startuphack.com/Spencer. Now, I'm not saying that AI is bad. The future of software development isn't vibe coding, or it's also not just traditional coding. So software developers, you can't stick your head in the sand. It's a hybrid approach that leverages AI to make developers more efficient while maintaining human understanding. The most successful developers will be those who can prompt AI effectively, use it as a consultant, understand its output, review its suggestions, and debug it and put it into production. I've heard for a long time when Stack Overflow came away, people were like, oh, well, I can just copy and paste stuff off Stack Overflow and build programs. Yeah, like that was the thing before. And you still couldn't just copy and paste stuff out of Stack Overflow and have it always work. That's the same thing with AI. So I've been hearing that coding would go away every few years since college in the late 1990s. And I'll take whatever productivity gains AI can give me. But at this point, as in the past, I'm not falling for the hype. So after 25 years in this industry, I can tell you that tools change and your skills need to evolve, but ultimately fundamental problem-solving skills of being a software developer, system thinking, and debugging remains essential. Companies that will win aren't the ones who fully embrace the vibe coding or reject AI entirely. They're the ones who find the sweet spot in the middle that use human expertise and AI acceleration and put them together. There's never been a better time to be a developer because you can learn things so fast and you can build things faster than ever before. That's what's so awesome about this. This is a great time to be a software developer. Now, what are your thoughts? Do you agree? Do you disagree? I love to have a great discussion, so make sure you leave a comment down below and make sure to like and subscribe. Here at Startup Hack, we love to train software developers in our licensed coding boot camps, as well as to build custom software solutions for companies. So check out startuphack.com/Spencer, and here's some great information about some of our consulting services.
Hi, my name is Spencer Thomason, and I'm a fractional CTO. With over a decade of executive leadership and a solid 25 years in software development, I've mastered the art of transforming technology teams and products. So what is a fractional CTO? This is where you can contract someone like myself to come into your organization and get the benefits of a seasoned CTO without having to employ me full time. In today's fast-paced world, efficiency, security, and product scaling aren't just goals, they're necessities. My passion is building impactful products and enhancing organizational efficiencies through technology. From startups to small businesses, my approach leverages lean methodologies to not just meet but exceed your strategic goals. Whether it's through executive mentoring, cloud system architecture, or launching a minimum viable product swiftly, my aim is to make a significant impact right from the start. Recognized in the Arizona startup ecosystem, my journey has been about creating value and fostering innovation. I have led technology for companies like GoDaddy, SRP, and Wells Fargo and turned challenges into milestones. I've taken this learning and launched 7 of my own brands, and now I want to help you. So if you're looking for a fractional CTO who brings a wealth of experience, strategic vision, and a proven track record, let's connect. Together we can build technology that not only drives your business forward, but also makes a difference. Technology leadership redefined to fit your needs. So reach out today.